Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Happy Monday to everybody. It was a fun, busy weekend for your boy. I hope you had a great time. And it was a great time in sports, or at least what should have been a great time in sports. Shout out to all of the GHSA state champion football teams. They all competed in their state championship game this past weekend, Friday and Saturday. And one thing is evident to me, right? One thing that I think about, that I think everyone will agree, is that when you look at a state championship game, you should see stands that are full, right? You should see stands that are full. Now, a lot of people will blame the GHSA for this. And I think that the GHSA has as much involvement as anyone. But, right, if you're telling me that two schools are represented in a state championship game, then that's two schools' populations that are represented in that championship game. That is the city and or town associated with that school's population represented in that game. So while I can agree, right, that the venue that's been chosen, having it at Georgia State, and that the stadium that used to be the old Brave Stadium that's been renovated, like, while that might have seemed like a good idea, falls flat, right? Year after year after year, falls flat. You look in the stands, nobody there. People say, oh, well, you got to put it in the Benz. You got to put it in Mercedes-Benz. But if you put the game in Mercedes-Benz, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a big old indoor facility, not a lot of fans. How do you get the fans back? Well, first off, it's the fans' fault. How can you have a city represented in a state championship game and the city not show up for that state champion? How can you have a town represented, a county represented in a championship game, and that county not show up? We're not talking about 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 people. We're talking about 10,000 here, 10,000 there. If you put 20,000 in a stadium, I don't care what stadium it is, it's going to make a difference. There's no reason why either side in the state of Georgia should have a team from 1A all the way up to the highest classification that shouldn't be represented at that game by 10,000 people. 10,000. The reverberations of the players that play on that team should pull 10,000 in. And what you can also do is stop putting these games in one location that's not convenient to either party that's in said championship game. I propose that instead of putting it in Atlanta and just defaulting to Atlanta as if Atlanta is convenient for everyone, whomever are the two teams that are in the state championship game meet at a neutral site somewhere in the middle. or somewhere close for both of them to get to. Oh, but what about listen, there are some of these places around here that have phenomenal facilities. Use theirs. They're not using them, right? So the one thing that we can be sure of is that there are going to be football facilities available come state championship game time, because there's not a lot of people in the state championship game. There are not a lot of teams in the state championship game. Why couldn't Savannah host a state championship game at Memorial Stadium? There's more than enough stands there that if you had a game and you pack those stands, it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. If you go over to Macon, there's a stadium. Everywhere that you go around Georgia, you can find one place that could hold 10,000+ people. 10,000+ people, $20 a ticket, $25 a ticket. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. And now you're getting that atmosphere that these young men deserve. And if you're getting the atmosphere that these young men deserve, then that's what makes everything better. That's what makes everything better. Thank you so much. And when we talk about atmospheres, and we talk about the way that the atmosphere works, we have to keep in mind that all we're looking for in life is for some level of consistency, right? And so within there, the GHSA got blamed for a call that was made in a state championship game that I didn't necessarily think they deserved to be blamed for, right? The referees made a bad call. The referees made a bad call, not the GHSA. Like if the GHSA had made the bad call, then I would say, okay. But the GHSA doesn't even run the referees. These referees are run by independent organizations all over the state. Now, what I would tell you is whomever that person is that made, or those coaches that made that mistake, they should never work another state championship game. And that might be harsh, right? That might be harsh to say never again. But it's so egregious. Like, this mistake is so bad that you almost have no other choice but to ban them from working a state championship game. The referee, like we have a video, we have video because that's what happens. We have video because that's what happens. We have video that someone is standing on the goal line when the play goes. It's a direct snap. He goes in. The video's on the goal line. The referee is on the goal line. There's no way that the referee does not see, or the line judge, there's no way the line judge does not see what this camera sees. People in the stands saw it. It only takes one time. It's a direct snap to a guy. He gets tackled in the backfield 2 yards short of the line of scrimmage. He is 2 yards short of the line of scrimmage, and somehow the referee raises his hands and says touchdown. I get making the mistake. What I don't get is not correcting the mistake. Because that referee knows that person did not make it in the end zone. The back judge knows. The line judge knows. On both sides. They should have come together and said, hey, he didn't make it. All right, wave it off. And the video would have supported them waving it off, right? One team would have been upset, right? Oh, they took our touchdown away. But upon looking at these same videos that would have appeared overhead and on the line, they would have saw, oh, we didn't get in. Damn, that's unfortunate. That's all that you have to do. That's all that you need to do. The idea that we have to somehow, stick with the ruling by the judge, when the line judge is completely and totally wrong, is crazy to me. If he's wrong, correct him. If he's wrong, make the necessary change. Don't allow things to continue to be wrong when you know they're wrong. That's why we have issues with referees. But this isn't necessarily GHSA's fault. This isn't necessarily their fault. This is the fault of those referee organizations playing the good old boy situation where, these guys have been in the game, so they get all of the when in reality, a lot of those dudes can't move, can't see. It's not that their heart's not in the right place, even though sometimes you could question whether or not their heart's in the right place. It's not that their heart's not in the right place. It's that their optimal time has passed. And it's time to let some of these guys with fresh eyes, who may be not corrupted by the old school way of doing things, let them run the point. Right? Let them run the point. Let them be the people in the front. Let them be the people that hold things down. Because what we're getting it's not fair to the kids. Cedar Grove should have another championship right now, but they don't. No one's going to go back and retroactively give them that championship. I haven't even seen a statement come out from GHSA going, we apologize to Cedar Grove for the egregious. None of that. Haven't seen any of it. It's amazing to me. I leave you on a Monday with this. It's a Monday, so we've seen a lot of football over the weekend, and I was watching Miami and the LA Chargers last night, watching the game. And of course, it's always going to be Tua versus Justin Herbert, right? Because Tua went ahead of Herbert. Herbert puts up all of these numbers. Tua has not. But this year, Tua's been putting up numbers. But Tua had a bad game versus the best defense in the NFL. Then he had another bad game last night. Well, not bad game, but just not a great game, right? And last night, Justin Herbert put up all of these numbers. And all I heard on the internet was oh my God, Justin Herbert, oh my God, it's clear Miami made a mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, these are two different defenses. I want you to understand what Miami's defense is built off of. Miami's defense is built off of not allowing touchdowns. It's very similar to what the New York Giants are doing this year. Their defense is predicated on bending but not breaking, which means we're going to be susceptible to giving up tons of yards. Go and look at the people who play Miami all year. Go and look at the yardage gain all year. They're prone to giving up lots and lots of yards, but not a lot of points. So if you read comments, if you were on Twitter and you were listening to NFL Twitter, or reading NFL Twitter, if you were listening to commentary about Justin Herbert last night, you would have thought he put up MVP. You would have thought he put up Jalen Hurts type numbers, right? But watch. Justin Herbert threw the ball 51 times last night. Now, he completed 39 of them. That's great. But he had to throw the ball 51 times. He threw the ball 51 times. He amassed 300 plus yards, 350, like a lot of yards, ton of yards. He only had one touchdown. They only scored 23 points. What are we missing? What am I missing? That's not a, oh my God, look how great he is game. I watched the game. It looked like he was just dinking and dunking and hitting open receivers because Miami's defensive philosophy is bend but don't break. Why am I losing my mind over a guy that's just throwing the ball to open people because the whole point is for him not to score? He scored one touchdown. They ran in another touchdown. The rest were field goals. Miami's defense did exactly what they wanted to do. The offense just didn't show up. The offense just didn't show up. Now, am I willing to say, like, Herbert is better than Tua, Tua is better than Herbert? They're two different type of quarterbacks. One clearly has more arm talent. So if we want to do that, okay, cool. But he also has a propensity for getting really, really, really tight in moments that decide games. There were no moments that decide games yesterday, so he was great. He was fine there. But he wasn't transformative. He wasn't, oh my God, he's going to be the top 2 in the league very soon. What 2 are you taking him over? Name the 2 that you're taking him over. Because all of these guys who are great right now are all young. Mahomes, you taking him over Mahomes? No, stop it. You taking him over Josh Allen, that all of you have anointed as the next greatest thing ever? Because now you got to admit that he's not. You're going to take him over Joe Burrow, who took his team to a Super Bowl with no offensive line? You're going to take him over Jalen Hurts and what Jalen Hurts is doing right now? Oh, well, Jalen Hurts has all of the blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Jalen Hurts, if you flip those two dudes, Miami may not be where they are. But you know what the Chargers would be? Playoff bound. Because that's what Jalen Hurts does. That's why he's the MVP. It's not just the accounting stats. Stop looking at the pie and taste what's inside the custard. Stop looking at the outside and judging the outside and going, oh my God, it must be good. The Justin Herbert stats usually come with the caveat. Yeah, he put up all of those numbers, but that was after his team was down. Yeah, he put up all of those numbers, but that was after he threw XYZ interceptions. This is one of the rare times where Justin Herbert didn't throw an interception. You make it hard to enjoy him as a player when you boost him up higher than what he needs to be. When you boost him up higher than what he needs to be, you make it impossible to root for him. Because then I have to come in and go, whoa, people, calm down. He's not that serious. He's a good football player. I'm not taking him over Mahomes. I'm not taking him over Burrow. I'm not taking him over Josh Allen. I'm not taking him over Lamar Jackson. I'm not taking him over Jalen Hurts. I'm not taking him over Dak Prescott. I'm sorry. I could probably keep going. I don't feel like trying to work through, but he's good. He's in that next tier. There is the upper level. There is the upper level, and then there is him. Could he ascend to that upper level? Yeah, but he's not passing those guys. Unless those guys fall off, he's not passing them. Y'all can continue to try to boost him up all you want. All you're doing is making him look worse. Because if he's so good, why can't he not elevate his team to a playoff level? It's the same argument that we had at Matt Stafford all of these years. How can you not see that he's Matt Stafford 2.0? All of the stats in the world, no winning. Matt Stafford had to have a team sacrifice their entire draft future in order to get him enough talent around him to win a Super Bowl, and he still almost blew it. That's what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. That's the type of lifestyle that we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Until next time, peace.